Good day, my beautiful friend. How are you today? Patty Dooley here with Tupperware, and it's so good to be here with you today. And I'm glad you got to come watch the video. Today I'm going to be doing a soup recipe for you in the stack cooker. This is just a part of some soups that I'm doing for the next few days. So if you want to keep up with the soups that's going on, check out the playlist up here and subscribe to my channel, like the video, share it with somebody, and I hope you learn a lot from it today. So like I said, we are using the stack cooker right here. This is meant to cook entire meals in, cook soups in, cook whole chicken in, cook pull apart bread in, cook everything you can think of in, hamburger meat, spaghetti, you name it, it can be cooked in here. With the stack cooker, you have a three-quart bottom. There we go. Then you have a 1 3/4 quart section right here. Then you have the strainer that I do a lot of browning meats and stuff in here. I even steam in here. And you have the top that you can turn over and then just cook with it this way, just like this. You have a cone that goes inside the 1 3/4 quart or the 3-quart bottom. You can make pull apart bread, you can make bundt cakes, you can make meatloaf, you name it, you can do it. So today we are going to use the 3-quart bottom and the top, and we're going to set these other pieces aside. So let's turn you down here where you can see what I'm doing. Alright, like I said, we're going to use the 3-quart bottom section here and the top for covering. Today we're making a potato broccoli cheese soup. It's a great way, this particular recipe I'm using is a great way to sneak in some vegetables if you have kids that are picky. But keep in mind that the recipe is not important. You may have your own recipe. What the process is how to use this to make your own recipes. So that's what we're doing today. I'm just sharing with you a process of how you can work with the stack cooker. So I'm going to use my Power Chef here, and if you haven't heard me talk about the Power Chef before, just go back to some of my videos here on my channel. I use it a lot, but we're going to have to saute some of the vegetables. We have 3 carrots, 2 celery, 2 potatoes, we have some onion, garlic, we have broccoli. Now if you have fresh broccoli, use that. If you don't have it, you can use frozen broccoli. Just make sure that it's thawed out good and that you get all the water off, so that doesn't go in your soup. So that's what we're going to do. I will leave a list of ingredients down in the description, so that way you can get the ingredients after watching this video and see how it's made. So I need to chop the celery, so that's why I'm using this here, my Power Chef. And I don't want them pulverized. I want them smaller, kind of bite size. And that's really close. We got a couple of pieces in there still. Just shake that around and get those big pieces. And then just those few pulls, we have the celery down to this size here. So I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of here. You can use broth, whatever you want to use to saute with. Just keep in mind that this is not a vegan recipe, but you can do a vegan recipe in here if you want. That's all up to you on your preference. So I'm going to put this in here. And if you happen to hear a little kitten going off in the background while I'm doing the video, we had to catch one of our kittens because it's going to a new forever home. So it's in there in the carrier thing, missing its mom. That's why if you happen to hear a lot of meowing, that's what's going on. So I'm going to take part of the onion. Onion all depends on how much you like. as with any of the vegetables. And And we're going to give that a pull here. We're going to chop this down. Like I said, I don't want them pulverized. And that is our onion right there. That many pulls with the Power Chef. That's all it really takes. The more you pull it, the finer it gets. So if you want larger chopped vegetables like this, just keep in mind, do not pull it a lot or you're going to get very small pieces. We've got the onion in there, and I've got some carrots. I'll just cut them up into some chunks. Now the carrots are a little bit harder. I'm going to have to do these a little bit longer. There we go. And that's the carrots. These I left a little bit more chunkier because I like carrots. And I like them bite-sized. A little bit bigger, meatier kind of size. Like I said, if you want it smaller, just continue to pull a little bit longer and it will get it down even finer. So we have those vegetables chopped up. We're going to put these on. I'm just putting a little bit of salt in here. And then stir these around. So there's our celery, our carrots, and our onion. And I'm going to put the top on here, and I'm going to put this in the microwave just like this on high power for about 5 minutes, just to get the onions kind of clear, the celery a little bit clear, and then the carrots a little bit tender. So I'm going to put this in for 4 minutes and we will be right back, and then we're going to do the garlic. Okay, so we have the carrots, the onions, and the celery sauteed in here. And please be sure to open that away from your face, because that steam will come out and hit you. So there is the carrots and celery and the onions. They're starting to be clear, and the carrots are getting tender in here. So it's like sauteing on the stove, but just a little bit different. So to this we want to add our garlic. I'm going to crush my garlic in here. And we have garlic in there. Get that little piece off because you don't want to lose any garlic because it's too good. I'm going to stir this in, and then I'm going to put the top back on, and I'm going to let this go for just 1 minute. Just enough to get that garlic fragrance going. And we will finish doing the potatoes here and get those ready and the broth. So let me put this in. Once that garlic's heated up, you're going to want to add your potatoes. Once again, I'm going to use the Power Chef, and I've got 2 potatoes chopped up here, up in quarters. And I want to cut these down a bit. I'm going to do them in a little you know, smaller batches, because like the carrots, these are hard. And I just want these chopped down, you know, kind of like my carrots, not pulverized. So we're going to put that in here. And then we're going to do the next batch. There, our garlic is ready. We're going to get the potatoes done, put the blade back in there, and then let's do the rest of the potatoes. But if you start out with something that's a little bit hard, go ahead and do a shorter burst with this, like this here, kind of like pulsing it. And then as it gets a little bit more chopped, you can do, you know, a little bit longer pull on your Power Chef. So we are going to go get the stack cooker out of the microwave. Boy, that smells good with that garlic. Woo, Lordy. So we're going to open this top away from us, away from our face. You can see how that has sauteed down. Now we're going to add the potatoes. Like I said, this is just 2 large potatoes chopped. And we're going to add just a touch of salt. And you want to be easy on the salt if you are watching your salt intake, because at the end you're going to put cheese in here, and then cheese has salt in it, so you can adjust that yourself. That's the great thing about cooking your own recipes. You can do what you like with what you have. So now from here, we're going to want to put 3 cups of chicken broth or vegetable broth or whatever broth you're using. So let me get my measuring cup here. I'm going to put 3 cups in. Two, 3. We're going to give that a quick stir. And then we are going to put this in the microwave covered up. And by the way, my broth is unsalted. If you're wondering, you know, can you use that? Yes, you can, because I do all the time. We've got that in there. So now from here, we want to put the top back on. And then put this in the microwave. You want this to simmer. And the way you're going to simmer in your microwave is to turn your power level down. It's just like the knobs on your stove. You've got high, medium, low, medium, high, medium, low, whatever. So the power level on your microwave is going to work the same way. So I want this at 70% power, and we're going to cook it at 70% power for about 10 to 15 minutes. 15 minutes should be tops in there. It should be tender, because after that we're going to add the broccoli, cook it just a little bit longer, and then the milk and the cheese. So let's put this in, get this started, and then we will work on the broccoli here. Okay, so we have the other part of the soup going, and we need to kind of chop down our broccoli. So let me rinse the potatoes out of here. And we're going to put our blade attachment back in. And it calls for 3 cups of chopped broccoli. So I'm just going to start putting broccoli in here. If you're using frozen, I use 2 smaller bags that I thawed out. So you kind of just have to eyeball from there. Remember, you can start out with small bursts of pulling and then pull longer, just finer that you want this. I think that should be good right there. That is the broccoli, and we're going to put this batch in here. You see, it still has some nice bite-sized chunks, but nothing that's overpowering. And then we're going to put the rest of this in here. Put the top back on. Give it some short pulls first, and then some longer pulls. If you have something that's a lot more in there, you can always shake it around like this to make sure that you're getting the bigger pieces back down to the bottom. And then just a couple of more pulls, and you are done. So there is our broccoli, and we'll measure this out when it comes time to add this into the soup. So I set my microwave for 15 minutes, but I'm going to check it at 10 to see how the doneness is. Basically, it should be done. You want the potatoes to get kind of soft, and then it'll cook down a little bit more when you put it back in to do this. So as soon as the stuff comes out of the microwave, I'll show that to you, and then we will proceed with the rest of the recipe. So stay right here, we'll be right back. Okay, so I let this cook for 15 minutes. I checked it at the 10-minute mark. It still needed a little bit more time. All I do is take like a fork and I press, some of the chunks. They're breaking up easy, so I know they're pretty much done. All we have is a few more minutes really left on this recipe. So from this point, we want to put a little bit of thyme in here. You can put thyme, rosemary, whatever seasonings you like. We're going to put a little bit of thyme in there, maybe a little bit more because I like it. And then we're going to put in our broccoli right here. Now that's getting pretty full. So let's stir this around. And we want to cook this maybe for 6 minutes, really just to get it, the broccoli a little bit done here. So let's put this back in at about 70–80% power. All depends on your microwave, ladies, so you'll have to check the time with that. But let's put it back in for about 6 minutes and then let this broccoli cook with the thyme seasoning in there. So let me go put this in and I will be right back. Okay, so we let this cook. Woo. Guys, this is going to make a lot of soup. A lot of soup. So this will feed a big family. So from here we want to take some milk. And I'm mixing in about 6 tablespoons of flour. Now you might be wondering, why is this taking so many steps? Well, this is how you learn to break down the steps using your Tupperware products in the microwave. Just because we cook in the microwave doesn't mean everything's made in like 5 minutes. Because you're cooking, you're just not blasting it with heat to get everything done. Because when you do that, when you blast it with high heat all the time, what happens is you overcook your food, and that's why you get all of that hard edges, and you know, things are tough and stuff. So you kind of cook like you would on a stove, slow, so that way everything is tender, things are together, and it just works better that way. So we've got 3 cups of milk here. The milk is at room temperature. We mixed in the flour. Now this may be hot enough that it will go ahead and thicken on its own. We're going to add in 2 cups of cheese. And that, having your milk at room temperature, or having your milk to where it's a little on the warm side, you know, heat it up in the microwave for about a minute, 40 seconds, something like that. When it hits this hot stuff, it will begin to thicken up on its own. You can use cornstarch. You can use whatever it is you want to thicken this. You may not want to thicken it with any kind of broth like this, you know. That's all up to you. That, you know, really depends on your recipe. So you could put this back in the microwave, say, for about 2 minutes to really get it thickened up more if you want. I'm just making sure everything is stirred in good. And then we're going to take 2 cups of cheese. Now, you could do just cheddar cheese. You could do some cheddar cheese and pepper jack cheese if you want it kind of spicy. We're going to take this and stir that in. Get that cheese melted in there because it is hot. So it's hot enough to melt the cheese. So you could use, you know, all kinds of cheese. I particularly would use white cheddar cheese myself, but I just didn't have any today. And I like extra sharp as you can get that cheddar cheese. That's how I like mine. My husband, if he ate this kind of soup, he probably would like it with some cheddar plus some of the pepper jack cheese in it, just to give it a kick in there. All of that has melted in, and we're just going to put in the remainder of this cheese. Stir this around, let that get melted. And what's going to thicken this up even more is about a half a cup of whipping cream. Now I know, I hear all the vegans going on it's like too much fat in there, you know, you're using cheese and stuff. Like I said, you can use your own recipe. It does not have to be this particular recipe. Like I said, the basic thing is just learning how to use it for, you know, the stack cooker in the microwave. So let's put about a half a cup, if I can find it. This is a fourth. Well, I just used that with the flour there, the cheese. Stir this in. And from here, like I said, you can heat this up for maybe a couple of minutes in the microwave. But this really is done. All the vegetables are cooked. I'm going to get me a spoon here. Taste for my seasoning. For me, that's good. For anybody else, they'd want a little more salt in it. But that is good right there. Really good, full of flavor. It's got that wonderful broccoli taste. You could put a little bit more you could put some rosemary in here, a little bit more thyme. However you want to season this, it's your recipe. Fix it how you want. So I'm going to put some of this in a bowl, show you what it looks like. Let me grab a bowl here. Nice and chunky. Beautiful soup. Great on a really cold day. Look at that. Just look at that beautiful soup right there. Oh, I'm fixing to enjoy myself. Really, really, really enjoy myself. Now, if you wanted to, you could take your Power Chef. And let's just go ahead and do that. Let me grab my Power Chef. Let's put the blade attachment in there. So if you wanted to thicken this up with the soup itself, you could put some of this in your Power Chef, just like this. Get that little piece off there. Now be careful, there's more. And then begin to pull this and puree it while it's hot. If you don't want yours, you know, with all the chunks in it, you can do it where you can put it in the Power Chef, puree it down to where it's creamy. I've got a little bit of heat in there and it's not wanting to come off. There we go. So you could do it down even further to where it's just like this. So this will thicken up that soup just a little bit more. Pour that back in there. And let's give that a stir. Still got chunky in there, and that's making it even more thick. But that is our potato broccoli soup made in the stack cooker in the microwave. Super, super good. Smells divine. It really smells really good. I'm gonna have to get some more here. Really good. But that's it for today, guys. Let me turn you back up here where I can see you. There we go. That's just one of the soups of many, many, many soups that you can do in the stack cooker. You can also use your Power Chef, like I said, to chop your vegetables to go into your soups and to thicken it with that way, just like we did here. If you have questions about the stack cooker, please feel free to comment. Let me know. You can get me on Facebook. You can get me through email. You can comment here, and I'll be glad to get with you. Follow me here on YouTube. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video today. If you learned something, let me know what you learned. Comment below and let me know what you learned. I will put the ingredients list down in the description below. You can subscribe to my channel because we're going to be doing some more soups the rest of this week and bringing those to you. And follow me on Facebook at TW Patty Dooley. Over there you'll be able to find all the links on all of that down in the description below. So you guys be blessed. Come on back and spend some more time with me. I so love doing this for you guys. If you'd like to have a stack cooker or want to know more about it, feel free to contact me and I'll get with you. So you have a blessed day, and I will see you soon. Bye.